My Lords, I rise briefly to offer my support to the Noble Lady Baroness Mackintosh of Pickering's amendment, and also to thank her for tabling it and for sharing the very useful Bar Council briefing. I just want to draw a couple of points from that and make one additional point of my own. One of the points to draw from that briefing is the fact that there's a broad definition of environmental information within the Aarhus Convention. And it does rather weigh on some of our earlier debates, noting that it includes a non-exhaustive list of elements of the environment: air, water and soil, and also to note that it includes cultural sites and built structures, which very much weighs on a debate, was it day 3? It all blurs, that we had earlier in terms of the inclusion of culture within the frame of this bill, for which noble lords from all sides of the House very strongly argued. I also wanted to draw attention to the other point of the Aarhus Convention, which says that public authorities may not withhold information except for in what you'd think of as a fairly standard list of exemptions. But I think there's a very important restriction on those exemptions, which is that commercial confidentiality may not be invoked to withhold information that's relevant to the protection of the environment. And I think given the level of privatisation of so many aspects of our management of our environment, and water companies come to mind most clearly, but there are many others, I think that's potentially a very important protection to ensure that this is fully included and complied with. And I think it is worth noting that we are, of course, talking about an international convention to which we're signed up, but we have had a lot of encounters recently where the government apparently doesn't seem to regard itself as being bound by international law and matters to which it's signed up to. And the final point I wanted to make is the real life or death seriousness of this. And I'm going to refer to a case that many people, including my noble friend, have referred to previously in this debate, which is the tragic death of 9-year-old Ella Kissy Deborah. And I just want to quote a sentence from the coroner's conclusion, which said, "There was a lack of information given to Ella's mother that possibly contributed to her death." So very often when people are thinking about information about the environment being available, perhaps they're thinking in the broad public health terms. They're thinking of campaigners whom the Green Party is very often supporting, fighting big issues. But we are also talking about matters of life and death, and people being able to protect themselves and their children if information is available to them.